Another request from Ara for actor, singer, Zaca Efrona. Great palm prints. I like it when I can see everything in the person's palm. And I can see an awful lot in this guy's palm. There's a lot of power here. There's a lot of strength. There's a lot of self. There's a lot of ego. I think this guy has a lot of sex interests, and I think he goes after it whenever he can, because he's very, very strong. The amount of Venus here is energy of all sorts. It handles the mental, it handles the physical, the spiritual, and the sexual energies coming out of here. And his thumb comes into it, very low set thumb. He's an old soul. This guy lived a lot of lifetimes, had a lot of wisdom. He has loyalty here to himself. He has understanding of people. I guess he's great at coming up with words and charming people and all that, and a flexible thumb. So he'd be very, very good at acting. He'd be very good with the ladies or whatever his pleasure is. Very, very strong. And a strong, strong, strong line of life. But this mount is the power. And he is going to, especially if he's getting a lot of action sexually, he's going to need some energy coming out of the lower Mars here to boost that, because he could be feeling sort of weak and strange at this time. And it might be going on for quite a while. His finger of ego, his finger of Jupiter here, which is the dividing line between the finger of Saturn, which is his strength, which is his fate line, comes all the way down here. Now this guy, when I keep on about the sex stuff, because he's been searching for love, he didn't really know what love was, so he just found it in sex. But that's all going to be changing. It should all be changing about now, because it comes out of his finger here and it goes into the line of life. That's where most people's line of love starts up here when they come in and they get to know it, or their parents teach or they learn it. But this guy didn't too much later in life, but it comes in around now and it goes all the way down here. Very strong, very powerful. He also has a very, very strong line of head. So he could be a legend in his own mind. He could have a lot of strength, understanding of self. And somehow that could well be threatened by the love aspect of it, because it takes some of his power away. But it's very strong. The finger here is of the pinky finger. It's Mercury, the thinking, the understanding, and it's slightly bent, so he could not always tell the truth about himself and about other people. He could bend that round to suit himself, as long as it pleased him and it got away with what he wanted to get away with. Now this is the finger of Apollo, the talent. It is his strongest finger. There's an amount of power in there. All these emotional, all these feelings, all this stuff that's going on inside him can make him a very, very good, successful, great actor. Plus he's got the mount coming up of here, and the power goes into these mounts. Whenever these mounts are full up, or not super full up because it has the opposite effect, but whenever they're full up, it always adds to whatever the finger it belongs to, very, very strongly. And the mount here, these two come up very high and goes into the Mercury there. So his thinking, his being, his acting. He could well be acting all the time, most of his life, and he's just beginning to find out who he really, really is. But he has a good, clear hand. And he has to be careful of vehicles, I don't know, motorbikes or cars or something. If it doesn't get too carried away with his driving or riding, or even boats or something like that, he should be very, very careful, because there is kind of a danger there. But if he keeps on keeping on the way he is now, stays honest and true to himself, he's going to be a very successful man.